Before I answer this question, please let me encourage you to do three things. Subscribe to our channel, like us on social media, and consider joining us as a supporter at patreon.com. I think it's important that when we talk about this idea of God learning, that we think about what we're saying. We're not saying as an open theist that the future is open and that God is able to just learn as he goes along with humanity and he catches our moves and he incorporates that into his knowledge and he becomes informed. Open theism is not what we would say if we were to make the claim that God can learn. There are some things that God, being omniscient, can never know. God cannot know what it is like to be Bobby Conway because he will never be Bobby Conway. But he is able to be trusted from myself, Bobby Conway, and he understands our mind faculties, our will, our emotion, our experiences, our relationships, and how his providence works all that together to produce his will. But when we think about God learning, philosophers will talk about this idea of God knowing all true propositions, that God knows all propositional truth, that God knows all tense truths. So, for example, before I was born, March 4th, 1973, God, through his omniscience, knew that Bobby would be born March 4th, 1973. But he knew it before 1973 as a future action that would be realized. But once I was born on March 4th, 1973, God had some sort of a new knowledge that he no longer knew that I was going to be born on March 4th, 1973, but rather he knew that I was alive and that I was born on March 4th, 1973. So this changing then of tense truths, the relationship that God has with me in my existence is different than before I existed. So that's one way that philosophers talk about how maybe God learned something in relationship to tense truths, but that is not a limitation of his omniscience, nor does it mean we would ascribe to open theism or process theology.